Feel free.
Do you know like basic? What's the basics where you're at? Because I don't want to bore you.
Nah, nothing that you say is going to bore me. I'm coming into this trying to learn, so we
Okay.
can start from the beginning.
Okay. So I obviously don't know everything. I learned a lot from watching attorney Melanie Little, and then just kind of like watching all the different lawyers and everybody covering it. The first trial, the jury was like basically kind of hung on the one charge or whatever. The judge kind of like didn't make the instructions for them very clear, and a lot of people feel like it was a little intentional. There's a lot of like Proctor was just fired, who is the lead investigator. So there is so much corruption surrounding the case, even with other cases like Sandra Birchmore. There, Justin Root, I think, was another one, and they just within the past maybe year, 6 months, I can't remember the dates, but reopened things with Sandra Birchmore or took some action, and that officer has faced charges for her death, which they initially said was a suicide. Come to find out, he did it. He's on camera going into her apartment and stuff. Now, a lot of these same officers are directly or indirectly connected with the Karen Read case. And what happened was there's a group of them that went out to the bar. There's like the waterfall. There's a couple different places in town that are mentioned in the case that they went. And I'm not used to being on panels, so I'm a little nervous, but somebody else can pop in if they want to clarify for me. But
so good.
Anyway, they were drinking and stuff, and an officer named John O'Keefe was there with Karen Read, and people are leaving the bar, and well, before they're leaving, they're interacting with each other, which there's surveillance camera. And a lot of these people were on the witness stand the first trial. And, there's different interactions, which there's a channel, JFK. He kind of like really hones in on that surveillance camera because one of the officers named Higgins, who is a special agent, I think it's ATF special agent. He was there with another, like there's Chris Albert, there's Brian Albert, there's several different people that are like officers, families of officers, like in this little group by the door as they're leaving, where they turn around and look back at John, and there's some interaction back and forth. And JFK, he does some rap, and like he'll do these long streams, and he believes Higgins called in the one night. I think it's kind of interesting, the angle on that surveillance camera, because I'm going to jump way ahead. Later, Higgins actually went to a military base, broke his SIM card, and put it in two different military dumpsters. Before he did that, though, he went to, I think it was the ATF or something. He's got some buddy and used the like government equipment and pulled data off his phone, including his conversation with Karen Read. So when they went to trial, he actually had his lawyer there. And I mean, there's just so much. Okay, back to the bar. So that Higgins that did all that is, kind of like leaving, and there's a little interaction where he looks back and something with him and John, they leave. So eventually Karen and John leave, and she drives to the place where they're all going to go at Fairview, where the Alberts are. I guess everybody is going to go there and drink and whatever. I don't know. They claim that some birthday party was going on for one of the younger Albert family members or whatever. I forget exactly what they said, but in the process, she doesn't stay. she drops him off, and this is where everything, there's a lot of conflicting back and forth, especially obviously in court, because the state says she hit him, but she was at home and getting like, where is he? Why hasn't he called me? She's like making a bunch of calls and trying to figure things out, and she gets a couple of girlfriends. They go driving around. Jen McCabe and Carrie, they are trying to find him or whatever. They drive by the house and see him laying in the front yard at the place where she left him off. So the cops come, and EMS, obviously they're trying to resuscitate him on 911 while this is going on.
So she was drunk when she did this?
Allegedly, I think she had at least been drinking. She's on video at the two different bars, the Waterfall and the other one. I can't remember the names, but they were all drinking. Like, everybody was drinking pretty much, and so I don't know. But the thing is, when from the point where she dropped him off until the police get there with EMS and all that stuff, there's a lot of conflicting, like, on testimony. People are like, yeah, I didn't see anybody in the yard, or it's like a lot of conflicting reports of what was seen, what happened. It's I don't believe that she hit him. I believe something else happened, but I mean, to each his own. But the ambulance, when the EMS got there, one of the testimonies said they cut a coat off him. Well, I don't think that there was, like, everybody else said he didn't have a coat, and they took him to the hospital. In all those reports, nothing was said that, like, he was hit by a car, it was a motor vehicle accident. No accident report was done. They thought, I think somebody said that it looked like he'd been in a fight because of the wounds that he has on his arm. They actually look like dog bites, and something with like a head wound or whatever. So, like, and it wouldn't have made sense anyway. Like, it was a lot of damage for just getting bumped with a car. But so it's been okay. So in the process of all this, there's a video where they took her car. Eventually they get her car, and there's a lot I'm skipping, but they get her car and take it to the Sally Port at the hospital, or at the police station. At trial, the video that the state produced was flipped, and it had been tampered with. And during the trial, that was never brought up until people online are saying, like, hey, look, Abby, she calls herself Video Jesus on Twitter. She does an excellent job breaking down how that video was manipulated. And the state's kind of like, yeah, no, we didn't do that. Well, now come to find out, there's a ton of video, and it was missing, and then all of a sudden some other officer had it on his iCloud. It's so weird. Everything is like tampered with. And when they went to the scene, they collected the blood samples with red Solo cups they got from a neighbor or something. The police did. I mean, the whole thing is so weird. It does not make sense. And
that does sound odd.
Yeah. But so basically, while there's a theory that the police actually broke her taillight, because in some of the video they show, you can't really it does not look like it's broken to the extent that at the end of everything where they're showing pictures of what was done to it, it doesn't look like that is even possible. But on top of it, what I was going to show you, if you want, there's a channel that this guy hasn't posted videos for like 12 years. And then out of nowhere, he's like banging out these experiments with taillights. And he ordered a couple of taillights that are the exact make and model of her car and year, and he's showing that how hard it is to actually break these taillights. I don't think that hitting somebody would cause the damage that they're showing at trial to a taillight. And even if it would, the damage on his arm that they're claiming was what hit it, which I don't know how, like, he would have had to been in a weird position to even hit his arm because it's so low. But anyway, I'll give you his channel if you want. It's BN Trouble 31.
Okay.
And he's got like several videos where he's doing experiments on the taillight to show, what it would take to actually break it.
Okay.
But there is a lot, there is so much more to this. Like you could probably stream for months and not even cover everything, because then you have Jen McCabe, who Googled how HOS Hoss long to die in cold at like 2:27, and because some people believe that they put him out there, like maybe there was a fight in the basement and they put him out in the snow because it had been snowing. There's a snowplow driver that came by, and he testified in court that, there was nobody on the lawn when he went by. So that was after she had already left. So that means somebody would have had to put him out there after the snowplow went by, which means Karen didn't do it. Somebody else did. So there's like layer on layer of everything. And it's like impossible to remember everything right off the top of my head. But like, it's intense.
Okay. It does sound like there's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on and then letting me know all of that.
Yeah, sorry if it was too much and babbling and everything, but
no, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. It was more informative than anything.
Thank you.
People are suspicious when it comes to Proctor as well, right?
Oh yeah. Oh man, and he was just fired. The family put out a interview. I don't know if they put a press release and an interview, but they did an interview, and then he got fired. And now, like, Lawyer just put a video out. Like this is just gonna really there's gonna be some blowback on this, because how are you gonna take the lead investigator and put him on trial, or not on trial, but on the stand, who was, overseeing the investigation for Karen Read and John O'Keefe, the case. And yet he was fired for, some egregious things. And he also was caught at the first trial. They put some of his text messages on the record, and he had called Karen awful names that I won't repeat. He told his buddies he was going to look through her phone for nudes, just all kinds of really egregious things. So now that he's fired and the family's come out and done interviews, it's just, I would hope that defense can use some of this, but I don't know how they're going to put him on the stand and for the state and accomplish anything, in my opinion.
I can understand that for sure. I could definitely agree with that. It sounded like a lot of shaky things was happening behind the scenes for sure.
Yeah.
If you have any like videos, like detailing some of these things or giving any kind of breakdown that you would like to actually see me react to, don't hesitate to send that to me either.
I think I would love to. The one on BN Trouble 31. The first one he did, it's 8 minutes 25 seconds. It's called Karen Read Taillight Proof of Altered Videos. That's really.
You can send me the link.
Can I do it in chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're able to. If not, either Discord or Instagram.
Give me a second.
I'll take a look at it.
I put it in the chat. I don't know if it went.
I don't see it. If it didn't. Are you on Discord Or do you have
No, I
Instagram?
don't. No, I probably could do Instagram. Is your
Instagram. If you
link
have
free?
Instagrams, yeah, it's oh wait, I changed my name on there recently, right? Yeah, you can still send it to me there. But now, let me grab the link 1 second. Yeah, I'll post it in private and in public chat.
Okay.
I
Oh,
said
I
I'm
see.
muted. Y'all can't hear me.
Whoops. I can hear you.
Some people are saying they might not be able to hear me in chat. Let me look at it. But yeah, I just gave you the link.
I will attempt that now.
I'm double checking my audio. So make sure you guys can still hear me.
Oh, it's gonna make me install it. It might. I'll have to probably do it later because
You gotta install Instagram?
I clicked it and it wants me. It took me there, but then when I click to message you, it takes me to Google Play. That's weird.
That's
I have a
strange.
Karen Reed
Yeah,
playlist, and I don't know if you ever feel like going through. I don't know how it's sorted. I probably should sort it by newest first, but I try to throw a bunch of stuff in that.
okay. Oh yeah, send it to me.
Okay, I'll get it to you. It'll probably be later today.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming in and informing me on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, thank you. And I just, I appreciate you. I love your vibe, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Bye bye.